Alright, we're going to be starting with the kitchen sink vent line, and I kind of ran down it because I think this is the one that had like a nail in it or something, but obviously doesn't look terrible at all. It's good, vent stack's good. Obviously from that cast iron right there at the base, which is another tie-in, see some of the cast there. When I was coming through here, it got too tight on the bend, so I can't get past this point without fear of getting my camera stuck, which definitely don't want to do. So I'm going to get a smaller camera and then run this vent stack again, but I'm going to go ahead and run over to the other vents with the normal camera first. So we'll come back to the kitchen sink vent line and drain line here in a second. Alright, this next one is a 2-inch vent. This is over the hallway bathroom. So we're going to run down this one. It should be most likely for the toilet. So right out of the gate, we got an offset. Completely fine. It's all PVC on the vent stack. There's a tie-in probably for a sink. And then hit 1-2 turns. And then it is cast on this side. Okay. It's not bad. Looks like it's going into a bigger line. Got a little bit of buildup there from old stuff. Fine. So there's a transition to cast, which that's probably fern coat together. So even though it looks like they're not conjoined like together, it, you know, two different composites being PVC as well as cast, putting together, they don't mesh. So they make this thing called a fern coat that where they tie it together, and it's just a little rubber gasket that goes over one side and over the other side on the cast, one side on the PVC, and they tighten these metal deals up just to guide them together so they stay together. So past that, we're going to go ahead and run this out and see kind of what we're looking at. The cast actually really doesn't look bad at all. It's pretty darn good. We should be running outside now. And then when I hit the clean out, I'm going to stop there. And now I got to clean my lens. Give me just a minute. Okay, got my lens cleaned up. We're going to keep going on this. So there might be a problem. It's not a problem per se, but this looks like it's transitioning almost to concrete pipe. That does not look like cast. And here's the clean out. I mean, that to me looks like concrete pipe, so what that would entail is that that joint is not going to be watertight. But the clean out is to the right of the screen, so that we're at the clean out, and this is on the, I believe, north side of the house, north side clean out in the yard. There's one for the kitchen, I think, on the south side. But so the bathroom clean out, we're at that one. So we've seen all this, but like I said, this piece of concrete piping right there, like, see that? It's super normal to see that because like the joints are butted up together, just like this one. They're like, it's probably butted up against the cast, and so those aren't watertight for sure. Right there, all three of those, they're not going to be watertight, really. I mean, they pack them, but they, if you put pressure on it, they'll probably leach out of there pretty evidently. So that might be one thing, because there is a section of small concrete piping on the exterior line before the clean out, which is outside. So we're going to pull this back, run the rest of the vent stacks, which I got 3 more to go, plus the kitchen again. So pull this out, shoot over there. So the last one, I'm going to need a small camera to get past that little bulge in that lid, and then there's also a nail through it, so this camera's not going to work. But this looks like PVC's been redone here, and it looks like the shower's been redone. So we're holding a little bit of water here. Got past that, and that did not feel good. It seemed like it wanted to hold my camera, so I'm going to get my smaller one on this one as well. This should be the shower for the hallway bath, and it's holding water. It's not draining out, but yeah, it's maybe got a little bit of a tiny bit of a backfall, but since it's just water running through it, it should be fine. Plus it's at the end of the vent stack, so shouldn't be too worried about that one. Not perfect, but not terrible, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, we're pulling out of that. Alright, let's get the master bathroom shower. We're going to go ahead and inspect this one real quick, see if we can get past it all. I'm going to have to use a smaller nano camera for a lot of this to see everything. But that looks a little funky. Gotta take a peek at that. Why am I hitting the side of that? Unless they put a big old Fernco on there. We'll have to take a peek at that. I'm gonna mark that here in a second too, on the way back. So that's put in the same way. It's a really, really tight 90, so I'm gonna use a small one on that one as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and pause this for a minute and just mark this right here and see what the heck's going on there. Give me just a moment. Alright, so I'm gonna need to get my nano camera out for the kitchen sink. Looks like the hallway shower, or actually the hallway shower, the master shower, and the vanity hallway sink vent stack. Only because they one has a nail in it, really tight bend on the kitchen as well, and really tight bend on both the showers, which is fine. It's just for airflow, but I definitely want to see if we can get in there and take a peek at everything. So luckily I have a camera for it. So we're gonna run the master vanity sink vent stack with the dual vanities in it. We're gonna run this one next, see what we got. Alright, hopefully we can get past this one easy with this camera. There's that. A little tight, not too bad. Got a little bobble in it. Hey, I think we got into this one. It's not too bad. Got some build up there, not too shabby. But that is definitely blocked up, looks like. So, highly recommended to auger this drain. I don't know if that was recommended by the previous company, but obviously that's not the best looking thing right there, which it's all this stuff that's kind of accumulated in the line over time. Definitely needs to be augered out, and I might have to come back to re-inspect this. We'll see what we can do today. So, I'm going to go ahead and run the main line, which is the 4-inch cast iron vent stack. But honestly, that looks all fine to me. Doesn't look bad at all. But I don't even think a nano camera is going to get past all that stuff in this line, but we can definitely get that sorted out. It is draining, but it'd be good to see it where it ties in and everything. So we're going to run the 4-inch vent stack right now. And we're in the vent stack, obviously. It looks actually really good. The 4-inch cast looks honestly really, really good for what this is. We've seen a lot of this line already because here's where the laundry ties in. And then the 2 toilets tie in double sides on the other side, which we're going to run the cleanouts backwards here in a second before I get my smaller camera and go ahead and run backwards towards these areas as well so we can see that little bit of piping I'm missing by running down the vents. And also all the vent stacks too. So, but as you can tell here, there's some concrete piping, and it also looks like to the upper left there's maybe like an old clean out that was installed at one point. There's obviously an opening there. That's a little cool. The concrete pipe right here, it's definitely not going to hold water. These joints are butted together and then packed, and they don't hold water under pressure for sure. And so we're back at the clean out on the south, like eastern corner of the house, which is on the bathroom back side of the house. So we're going to go ahead and run the cleanouts up towards the house and see what they look like, the kitchen sink as well as the bathroom. So I'm going to pull out of this, run those, inspect those, and then get my smaller camera to get the rest of the line on these vent stacks. That's obviously water dripping from my camera, so there we go, all cleaned up. Okay, so we're running the clean out, which is on the left side of the house where the bathrooms are. In front of this brick wall, there's the cap, here's the pipe right there. And we're going to run this back into the house, see what we got. Let's see what we got. Alright, took a second to get in there, a little bit dirty water, but we're going to run this through real quick. Let's see if we can get that a little bit shined up on the camera end. But the only reason I'm doing this right here is because there is a vent stack. Obviously there was a section where it sweeps into, so I want to check that section up by the toilets as well. So there's the connection from PVC to cast. Doesn't look too shabby, a little bit of drop there, but not bad. And let's see if I can tidy this lens up real quick. So that's going up and hitting stuff again. Alright, let me go clean my camera off. I'm going to flush the toilet a couple times so I can see the toilet side. Give me just a moment. Alright, so that's back up the toilet line, but the water doesn't go that high, so I'm just hitting the back end of the line.
What is it?
So we're going to pull this back out, and I'm going to run over by the kitchen clean out and see what's kind of going on there.
This thing ain't going to hold water, is it?
No, like I said, older houses like this, I don't think they're going to hold water at all. They're too old. There's been too many things done to them, of course, but there's also this concrete piping, and so it's in joints that are just butted together. That's not going to hold. So,
but how do I
So we're still going to run out to the main on this clean out, and there's a tie-in right there, which is a little hard to see because the camera's a little foggy, but there's a tie-in there, which I'm assuming is the kitchen sink. There's also another one.
You want me to go run water?
In a minute, yeah. Hang on. There's another tie-in like right around here somewhere.
You
right
record
there.
this shit?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm recording it all. So now we should be in the main line. Then it goes from a little bit of clay back to cast again. And then this is a cast iron all the way out, it looks like, on the exterior. So it doesn't look bad. Looks fine. Holding a teeny bit of water. A little bit of a belly, not too bad.
That's why I couldn't get the pressure up. They need to clean out.
So with this camera, I'm just trying to check out the main line as far as I can. We're obviously hydro testing the internals. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out of here because I'm 120 feet out. I'm going to pull this back, wipe the lens, re-inspect this one little section, and I'm going to find it. And so we're pulling back here just to get out of this line. Alright, so we pulled out, we're going to run back in, locate the tie-ins real quick, and wipe this lens off so I can actually see what the heck I'm trying to look at here. There we go. Yeah, you can see all that, that's not clay, you can see all the rock chips in it. But there was a little bit down this line, I swore I saw like a weird tie-in, which might be out of the scope. That's crazy. So that's not a tie-in. But right past here, that's definitely a tie-in. So that should be your kitchen sink.
That should be that right.
Just mark the tie-in for this line. This is the kitchen sink. I'm going to pull out of here. We're going to run the kitchen sink clean out, back and out to this tie-in. Alright, we're going to run the kitchen sink drain out to the tie-in, so we're going outside of the home right now. We're going to see how this looks like. And see, obviously, all that's concrete. That's not going to hold, but we're trying to do it the other way, so yeah, that should be good. So that's all concrete pretty much up to this point where it ties back into cast on the main line. There's some roots in there, some stragglers, a little bit of holding water. It's honestly, the roots are very normal in concrete. They butt the joints up together, roots grow right into them. And then a little bit of water holding in probably a 4-inch pipe, it looks like. It's not too bad. Not the best, but not too bad, because it's only really running water. We're going to run the kitchen sink back up into the house now, see what we got working here. So we've got the cast iron transition. See if I can get past that lip. Oh, looking back at myself. Hang on here. All right. So I can't get past this cast iron to PVC lip that's on here. It's on the bad side, so I'm running right into it. So I'm going to grab my bigger camera, see if I can get past. Then also the nano camera, we're going to run the rest of the vents.